Hey now, coming back again with a Blu-ray DVD update video. This being the Black Friday 2017 edition. Um, this is the Monday just following the Black Friday weekend, and I picked up a good chunk of stuff. Being in Canada, we don't get the most amazing deals like America generally gets, but we do get deals, and this year was a lot better than the last few years. In fact, pretty good deals. In fact, I was surprised. Uh, but the American blue tubers that I watch, you guys get awesome deals. And I didn't bother going to Best Buy or anything like that. I stuck to Walmart and Amazon pretty much. I got a really cool set that I've been after for a while. So without further ado, let's just jump into the Blu-rays that I picked up. The Magnificent Seven. Here's a movie that I've been trying to get a hold of for a little bit. I've been waiting till it came around. I was hoping for the $15 price point. I just didn't want to buy this right away. I like this movie quite a bit. It's directed by Anton Fuqua, and it's a remake of The Magnificent Seven. Although I've never seen the original, so I couldn't tell you which one's better. And perhaps that's good for me because I didn't have to worry about that element. I just watched it for what it is, and I really enjoyed it. It's got Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio is a wicked character in this. There's also these three characters here. I cannot remember their names. They're lesser known actors, but you may know them from other things. Especially this man right here. He is in a pretty sure he's in Life. That with Jake Gyllenhaal, that Alien movie. But this movie here, I really enjoy. It's a great western. It's got lots of good shootouts, action scenes, lots of good dramatic moments, and just lots of badass cowboy stuff that you see in lots of great westerns. And basically, a town is being tormented and just bullied into being taken over by this like company and this like really rich guy who's pretty much evil as hell, and he's just bullying them around. He's killing people, and they hire Denzel Washington, who then builds his own little hired army of badass dudes, and they go and clear out the town of the bad guys, and then they just go and wait for reinforcements to show up, and it's like this build up to this big awesome battle that is big. It's awesome. That's so well shot and put together. Great film. I like this quite a bit, and I'm happy to finally get it for the price that I did. Yeah, I got it less than what I was looking for, so I had to get this through Amazon. I couldn't find it anywhere at Walmart, so even they didn't even have it like new, so I don't know what happened, why they got it off the shelf so quick. Anyways, moving along, I picked up The Dark Tower here. This is a Stephen King movie I was kind of excited for. I've read a couple of the books, the Dark Tower series, but they're very like they're just a huge investment. And I got about halfway through, and I was like, I need to read something else. Just take a break, and I just never got it back around to it. So I have read The Gunslinger, which is basically the most like they do kind of take some other elements, but it's basically The Gunslinger is what they're trying to kind of show you in this movie. But they definitely go their own way with it. I don't know. It's really weird because if you didn't know or want to invest the time in the books, this might be alright to you. And it's only an hour and a half. It has some good pacing to it. I went and seen this in the theater. I wanted to see how this would turn out. And I don't know. The special effects are good. The story's alright. It's paced well. It's really not confusing, like, it's not like convoluted or anything, but I don't know, it's just not, it doesn't really represent the books very, like, as a whole, or that universe, but that's hard, this is a very hard thing to talk about this movie, because it's just, it's a hard thing for someone to do, and it's really hard to, but like Lord of the Rings was done, so I don't know. Maybe someday they'll retry, but I think that the idea was to make a show after this. I'm not sure. I don't know. Idris Elba is pretty good in this. He plays Roland the Gunslinger, and Matthew McConaughey plays the Man in Black. And honestly, I was underwhelmed by him. I expected him to kind of put more into it, but he's just kind of there, and I don't know, hamming it up a little bit. Expected a little bit bigger of a performance. I don't know, but I'm happy to get that for the price because I definitely didn't want to pay for that day one. The Circle, got this for a decent price. I had to get this on Amazon because again I couldn't find this in my store, and I was happy to get it. And like they had it for a long time, and of course, when I'm looking for it, they somehow get rid of it the second I want it. But The Circle, pretty good movie. I enjoy this. It's kind of like an allegory or a metaphor, or I'm not sure what the term would be, but it's kind of like looking at Google and like our society and how like we're very connected with social networks and stuff like that. And like, I'm not saying Google's evil, but say Google were to be evil. I don't know. Maybe they fucking are. Maybe they're Skynet and Arnold's on his way. He will be back, like he said. But if Google, say, is called The Circle, and they didn't have good intentions, and their intentions were to spy on us and kind of control our moves and stuff, and they can use our privacy against us, and that sort of thing. And kind of like what Snowden was trying to fight against, if you've seen that movie. Edward Snowden, or read the book, or the documentary, anything like that. That's kind of what he's talking about. And this company is kind of like a worldwide Google sort of company. And Emma Watson gets a job there. She's very excited. Her life was going in a wrong direction. She wasn't excited with the path she was headed in, and she ends up working at this company. Tom Hanks is kind of like a guru. I wouldn't say a Steve Jobs, but he's the head of this company, kind of like that. And he's not in this movie a lot, but he's like he's representing the whole company. Patton Oswalt's kind of also that character. They're kind of like partners, but she gets involved in the company, and the whole idea of the movies is her eyes going to get open to what's going on in this company, and if so, will she keep them open, or will she shut them and keep getting paid and live in this awesome life that she never thought she'd have before? So yeah, John Boyega pops up in this. Also, the kid from Boyhood's in this movie for a little role, and I think he did a good job. So, The Circle, check this movie out. I think it's a little underrated. People didn't seem to like it that much, or at least Rotten Tomatoes, which is definitely not biased in any way. Aren't they owned by some studio? I thought I heard that. Anyways, moving on. Fences, picked this movie up because, again, I had to get this through Amazon. Dark Tower I did find at the store. Magnificent 7 through Amazon. This also through Amazon. Fences, and yeah, this is a amazing character piece. It's an amazing statement on racism at the time that this film I believe it takes place in the 50s. It comes across like a play, and it's kind of like how racism affected people of color in that time, and how like it wouldn't just affect them, it affects like their whole idea of what their worth is and stuff like that. And because of that, Denzel Washington's character, whose life kind of got squandered through that, it's definitely that was going on in society, and he was, getting chances taken from him, and things were a lot harder on him because of his color, and like he had to deal with that, but he ends up putting that on his own kid down the line. And that's kind of what this movie's focused on. Like later in life, he's an older man. He's definitely made tons of mistakes. He had a bright future ahead of him, and this is where he's ended up. And he's kind of like, his child is an outlet for that narcissism. And this is a cool movie because, like, if you're into like analyzing characters at all, or getting into like why they do stuff, or you're not gonna like Denzel Washington in this movie. He's not really a likable character, but you'll understand him, and you'll kind of like feel for him in a way. And Denzel in this movie is amazing. His acting is out of this world in every scene. Like, he's one of the best actors we've got. We've all known that. But this just proves it again. Like, this movie's amazing. He deserved every accolade he got when it came out, and I don't know if it won any Oscars. I cannot remember, but I remember it being nominated. It deserved every one of them. Viola Davis also carries her own in every scene. Like, she has her work cut out for her being alongside him, and she holds her own in every scene, and she's great. I can't ever remember the actor's name. Bubba from Forrest Gump pops up in this movie. He is excellent. He plays the handicapped brother-in-law. I think it might be his actual brother. I can't remember. And again, he's kind of like taking advantage of him. He's not a good guy, this Denzel Washington character. What is his name? Troy Maxton. So, and it's based on a Pulitzer Prize-winning play set in 1950s Pittsburgh. A former Negro League baseball player. Yes. So, yeah, this is a great film. Excellent. One of the best from that year that it came out, and I just so happy to finally own it, and I'm happy that it came with a slipcover, although it is a little dinged up. It's okay on the spine, the front. Fantastic. I'm also looking forward to his next movie. He plays a lawyer or something like that. He has like giant glasses on. It looks wild. Look up his wiki, and I can't remember what the movie's called. But yeah, that's Fences. That was also a very good price on that. I don't know if it was Black Friday, or if that's what the normal price was. I'm not sure on that one, but I was like, well, I'll buy that. So the rest, except for the box set that I picked up, are from Walmart. So we'll get to that box set in a bit. But I picked up Passengers. This is a really cool sci-fi film. It's entertaining. It's very popcorn entertaining. It's got a lot of cool action in it. The special effects are out of this world. I like the special effects. This looks great on Blu-ray. I imagine if you can get it on 4K, it would look stunning. And speaking of stunning, Jennifer Lawrence is stunning in this movie. She's not necessarily great. She almost seems like she's phoning in half of the movie. Some scenes she definitely is really doing good, but some of them, I don't know, didn't seem to be putting her all into it. But Chris Pratt, this is probably my favorite movie of his acting, emotional depth sort of wise. Like, not just being a cool, like, action star, Han Solo badass, you know? Like, this is a movie where he kind of, like, displays acting chops, and like, again, like what, like Fences, not quite as intense, well, in a way, yeah, but in his, like, some of his choices that happen because of what happens in the story and his mentality, you kind of like, whoa, like some of the choices you're like, oh, I don't know if he's redeemable at a certain point, but like his acting is great, and then that is a problem. I'm trying not to spoil anything, and I'm not going to. That that line that I was saying of the choice that he makes, it kind of like fucks with the ending, and in a way you might even like hate it because of that, because it like just might be like, yeah, whatever, that would never happen because of that one thing. I don't know. It's hard to talk about without spoiling it, so I'm just gonna move on. But it didn't ruin the movie, is basically what I was getting to. The ending was fine. This movie's probably like a 6 out of 10, 7 sort of deal. But it's very good to watch, like to look at, and it's got a lot of good scenes. I like the robot scene in the bar. This guy right here, he's cool. And just, yeah. Check this movie out. If you can get it really cheap, it's not a waste of money. It's not. You might even watch it a couple times. I'm happy to own it. I probably will watch it multiple times over the years that I have it, until eventually I may pass it along. But I'm happy to own it, especially for the price. Fist Fight. This one, just like Passengers, when it came out, I was excited to see it, and then I just decided I was going to rent it, and I knew it would be cheap as hell on Black Friday, and Fist Fight was. This is one of those ones I was certain, and it was. And they had all slip covers. It was great. Ice Cube, Charlie Day, Tracy Morgan, Jillian Bell. Tracy Morgan, Jillian Bell's characters are kind of like background characters, but they pop up and they have funny little moments. They're great. Both of them are very funny. But basically, Charlie Day is kind of like this nerdier sort of weakling character in a way. And Ice Cube, he offends Ice Cube. They're both teachers at the school. He offends them, and it almost like they become kids. They become like bully versus kid and challenge to a fight after school. And the whole movie revolves around Charlie Day trying to kind of get out of that, and he doesn't want to fight, obviously. Who would? Ice Cube would probably mess a lot of people up, including myself, definitely. And just, yeah, Ice Cube, he's funny in this. He's definitely got that mean face thing going on that he's so funny for in, like, Ride Along and stuff like that, and the Friday movies. And just, this is a fun movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I haven't seen the movie, but apparently a lot of people compare this movie to the 17 o'clock high or 7 o'clock high. I don't know, it just came out on Shout Select, so I haven't seen that movie, but I have seen this, and a lot of people say it's basically the same idea, just for a kid in high school. So, whatever, this movie's fun to me. I don't know if it's, I don't even care if it's a ripoff, really. They're probably both good for different reasons or similar reasons. But yeah, this is a fun movie. It's got a lot of laughs. It made me laugh a lot, so that's all I really asked for with comedy. And yeah, that's how I rate comedy, based on how much I laughed. If, like, I don't really care if the story makes no sense or is stupid. Like, if I laughed a little bit, then that comedy wasn't that good. If I laughed a lot and often, it's pretty damn good. If I laugh over and over and over again every time I watch it, like something like Dumb and Dumber, the first Dumb and Dumber, then that's a fantastic film. And that's something you can't tell until you've watched a comedy a few times. And I've watched this twice, and I haven't got it around to watching it since picking it up now, but I get the feeling this is one of those movies that gets better with time. So, again, another comedy that I just thought was great, The House. If you can't beat the house, be the house. And basically these two parents, through some circumstance in the film, their child, their daughter's college, what is that called? Scholarship, sorry, I was having a brain fart. The college scholarship gets stripped away from the daughter, and they have to come up with an idea to get their daughter into this high-level college. And yeah, it's a very, I don't know, that sounds like some sort of, like, plot that's very thin, and it is, but it doesn't matter, because this movie's just fun, and it's all, like, about building up gags and then paying them off. And, yeah, and basically that's what they end up doing, because their best friend, who's, like, this kooky guy who's got his own problems, and they kind of have this zany idea to start their own illegal gambling casino in their house. And, yeah, and, like, their relationship with the daughter is great and charming, but what ends up happening is they end up having to act like casino owners, and in turn become kind of badasses. And it's just funny, that transition, all the things that pop up, all the parties they're having. And there's like a wrestling sort of full-on underground fighting thing that happens, and this woman here is so funny in that. Oh my god, hello Meredith. Her potlaw, and just, oh my god, she was making me laugh so hard. Jeremy Renner pops up in this movie. You got Nick Kroll, I think is his name, right there. He plays the douche in Sausage Party. Yeah, I think, pretty sure that's his name, Nick Kroll. But yeah, The House, I really enjoyed this. And again, this is a movie that I laughed a lot and pretty hard at. So, and I imagine with multiple views, I'll laugh pretty hard at this movie. This is one of the better Will Ferrell movies I've seen in quite a bit. And I like Will Ferrell, but this is, to me, one of the better ones. I don't know why people don't like it. It's refreshingly silly. That's how I think of it. Like, don't take this serious. Don't even look at the plot like it's supposed to make sense. Just, did you laugh a lot? And to me, I did. Both of them. Amy Poehler made me laugh a lot. And the gag reel. Oh my god. The deleted Lionel Ramas. Watch that shit. Had me fucking rolling tears and laughing. This one here I picked up because it's kind of like everybody does this on Black Friday. This movie's so bloody cheap. I just, I don't know, it seemed kind of interesting to me. It was with like Sleepless and a few other movies that I wasn't really interested in, but this one here kind of caught my eye, and I don't know if I'll regret it, but whatever. It's so cheap, I don't care. I'll just get rid of it. If I don't like it. Zach Galifianakis, John Hamm, Isla Fisher. I'm pretty sure that's the girl from Wedding Crashers, or yeah, Vince Vaughn's girlfriend, right? Am I right? Huh? Do you know? Leave a comment down below if you know. Gal Gadot as well, or Gal Gadot. I'm not sure how you say her name, but I don't know. It seems like the spies who live next door neighbors. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what this movie is. I looked up a trailer and it seemed kind of funny. And again, I still don't remember if the trailer really told me exactly what it was going to be. But I don't know. I'm starting to like Zach Galifianakis in movies. I wasn't a huge fan at first, but I'm starting to come around. He's funny. And Gal Gadot's awesome, and John Hamm's pretty badass in movies. So yeah, I'll give this a shot. Don't know much about it. And yeah, so I picked up this as well, The Hobbit. This is the big set that I picked up from Amazon. You may, if you follow my channel, know that I just picked these movies up on eBay, theatrical release, and now I got the I don't know why I said eBay, the extended editions that as soon as I watched those theatrical cuts, I was kind of like blown away how much more I liked them than I thought I was going to. I watched the original one, I was like, that was okay, but kind of, there's a lot to it, and I just didn't understand why they were making so much of it, and like why was there 3 movies? That was my idea. Because as you know, the Hobbit movie, or the book, is very small in comparison to even one of the Lord of the Rings sequels or whatever. So, but once I got past that, let that go, and just kind of gave myself over to be like, all right, Peter Jackson's making this movie. He knows what he's doing. Lord of the Rings were amazing. These don't look as practically done as Lord of the Rings. Like, the special effects leans more to the CG a lot, but there's definitely practical stuff. And the CG is done very well. After a while, you start really appreciating, especially Smaug and some of the other characters. So my thought process with this is, if I own Lord of the Rings, the extended cuts, if I own Lord of the Rings, the theatrical cuts are long as hell to begin with. So the extended cuts, I might as well watch them. And with those extended cuts, I've found, the Lord of the Rings at least, they have been awesome. The added stuff isn't really that, like, a lot of the times when they delete shit and put it back in, you're like, well, I see why they got rid of that. Well, with the extended stuff, you're just like, well, they probably only got rid of that because of the theater. You don't want to sit there for 5 hours. But yeah, so I had to get the extended cuts. This is a really cool set. It's got the magnet. My Lord of the Rings is the reprint one, so it doesn't have the magnet. So hopefully one day I can get that edition and upgrade it. But that's beautiful. The map. You got all the 3 here. This is great. Got Unexpected Journey. Desolation of Smaug, and the Battle of the 5 Armies. So I'm very excited to check these out. Probably not going to do it right away because I just watched these, but probably sometime next year I'm going to sit down and watch all of them in a row, and I'm happy to do that with the extended cuts. So this box set, I wasn't going to jump on it right away. I wanted it as soon as I finished the theatrical cuts. I'm like, well, I need this. Went online, it was like, I would say it's about $70. Went to the store at Walmart and it was like $80. I looked on BestBuy.com and some other places, and it was pretty comparable to that price. Then a little bit before Black Friday, just like a week before, it dropped ridiculously. It was like a lot, and like even now during Black Friday, it's when that like lightning sale went on. It's now, I got this for $10 $10 cheaper than what it's going for now on sale during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sort of week. And so I don't know why they did that, but I'm very happy I said, because at the time I was like, well, if it's this cheap now, how cheap is it going to be for Black Friday? And then I'm just like, well, it's probably not going to get that much cheaper. I'm jumping on this, and I jumped on it, and I'm happy I did, because I saved $10 on top of the saving up for Black Friday. So, awesome. I'm very happy with this. The Hobbit, the extended edition trilogy. So, awesome. I can't wait to actually sit through that again. Because I don't know, how long are those? Is that the full, like, 12-hour thing, like the Lord of the Rings? So what is it, 24 hours for the whole thing? That's crazy. That'd be fun. I don't know if I could do that. But yeah, so for the final 4 DVDs, I'm just going to power through, except for this one I will talk a little bit about. We've got The People versus O.J. Simpson, The American Crime Story, Season 1. I know that the plan, I guess, is to keep it like American Horror Story, and each season will be standalone, individual, like a mini series, and each season will kind of be based on historical criminal cases and stuff like that. And it's I think that's a great idea. I think that's cool. If you like psychology, it's cool to kind of like look into why someone like O.J. Simpson, or, you know, whatever, would do the stuff they do, and figuring them out and stuff like that, or trying to, is the idea of movies and stuff like that, in my opinion. And, yeah, O.J. kind of, like, came up, went through high school, probably showed a lot of talent early in his career, went through football, and did the same. I watched the Made in America 30 for 30 documentary, and he did do all this. And he was just amazing. He was amazing in his NFL career. He just broke so many records. He was kind of like, he just like, even like broke over barriers of race, and like people liked him during a time where, you know, like, even now, times haven't changed that much when it comes to racism. But, you know, like, he was loved by everyone, really. The Juice, he was a football icon, and he had everything going for him. He even like did things like with sponsorships that no one had really even thought of or done before. He jumped into movies and stuff like that that'd be done before. But, you know, he had a lot going for him, and even still, with all this, all the money, all the fame, he still was able to give into his like baser elements of human emotion, like rage and jealousy and murder, and yeah, you know, allegedly. I guess he's been proven guilty, proven innocent different ways, so, you know, I guess you never know until 100%, but I'm pretty sure he was the one. OJ did it. You know, like, I'm pretty convinced he was the one to blame for Nicole and Ron's death. So this depicts that the entirety of it doesn't like show the murder or anything like that, but it kind of takes place that night, and the clues, and then the trial, and leading, and then the circus that this became, how the culture of racism and at that time bled into this high caliber criminal case, and like everyone, the whole world was captivated. It was super interesting to watch that documentary. I was alive at the time, but I was super young, and I was watching it, but it wasn't as, you know, I kind of wanted to watch I wanted my cartoons or stupid shows. I didn't want to watch the news, but every grown up was hooked at the time, and I could see why. It's a very interesting story of the American dream, and just complete destroying it, really, and destroying it yourself and your whole family. And it's an interesting watch. I thought everyone in this movie, Cuba Gooding Jr. did a good OJ. John Travolta was great as well. Dave Schwimmer, but Sarah Paulson, to me, she steals the whole movie. If you've seen that documentary, she nails that character. Johnny Cochran is also very awesome, and this guy, I can't remember his name, but he was portrayed pretty accurately, and I'm pretty sure this is pretty accurate from the documentary and then watching this. So either way, watch them both, watch one or the other, you can't go wrong. It's great when it comes to these OJ miniseries documentaries. So that is the one DVD that I walked in, that was the first thing I found on actual Black Friday, so I was pretty stoked. The last three are just three really, really cheap DVDs that I found. I got this because I watched a bunch of Jean-Claude Van Damme movies recently, old school classics, and I kind of wanted to see what he's up to now, so this kind of seemed interesting. Super cheap. It's in like a bin for like $2, so kill them all. Watched this already. I actually went back on like the Saturday after because my buddy had watched this on Facebook. He thought he thought I'd enjoyed it, and he liked it quite a bit, and he did say that, like, Ray Liotta's awesome in this movie, and I agree. Ray Liotta was pretty damn awesome, but he's always awesome as a psycho, and that's what he plays in this. And he's harassing Julia Stiles, and for some reason she, after going to the cops send her, instead of like dealing with her, they're too afraid of Blackway, who's Ray Liotta's character. He's like a psycho in this town. Everybody knows about him, and you will hear people say the name Blackway. We're looking for Blackway. Where is he? They never say where is he. They always like, where's Blackway? You know about Blackway? Back in the day, Blackway did this, and it's just ridiculous. They say his name so many times. It's ridiculous. Like, use some other words. Use he, the bastard, that piece of shit, anything other than his name over and over again. It just drove me nuts, as you can probably tell. But Anthony Hopkins, Julia Stiles, she goes to this wood mill because that's where the cop sends her, because one of those guys have had interactions with him. I don't know what the deal is. The rationale and the storytelling to me didn't make a lot of sense. It just left me rubbing my head a lot. And Anthony Hopkins and Julia Stiles didn't really show a lot of... It was just, their performances were dull to me and seemed somewhat hollow, their characters. That probably has to do more with the writing than anything. And Ray Liotta, he was the higher point moments of this. This is actually on Netflix. I wish I would have known that. I would have just watched it on there. It's the type of movie you could throw on. If you pass out, you'd be fine with that. You don't need to pick it back up. And it's not terrible. It's not utterly unwatchable. It's just not... Like, the ending's just very unexciting. It's just anticlimactic and kind of like underwhelming in almost every way. So I'll be getting rid of that immediately. I'll throw it down in my laundry room, let somebody in my apartment building take it for free. So the last movie in this Black Friday haul, and this is one I picked up as well with Blackway on that Saturday, was The Comedian. And an aged comedian, Robert De Niro, is trying to break out of what he's known for, like one sort of act that people are really aware of him for, and he kind of wants to do something, more with his legacy. And Robert De Niro, Leslie Mann, Dan DeVito, Edie Falco, Charles Grodin, which I'm excited to see him. I didn't notice that or Edie Falco the first when I picked this up. Cloris Leachman, Patty Lupon, and Harvey Keitel. So that's a pretty good cast. It sounds interesting. Not every Robert De Niro is doing a lot of work nowadays, but I don't know. Some of it seems interesting, others don't. This does to me, so I'm happy to pick it up. Haven't watched it yet. So yeah, that is my haul for the Black Friday. It's not a huge haul, like I said. I tend to focus on stuff I didn't want to pay full price for, or I don't know, I try to get sets, or I use the time like for Christmas presents, which I also did. I got a really awesome complete set of a show. Sorry about that, for someone, and it's a complete series. It was a really great deal, and they should be very happy when Christmas rolls around. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you have anything to say about any of these pickups, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Like and subscribe if you like. And yeah, what did you get for Black Friday? Did you have a good time? Did you have a good Thanksgiving if you're in America? And did you manage to not get into a fist fight while you were trying to get a copy of The House for cheap? So hope you did have a safe Black Friday, and until the next update video, as always, enjoy and be easy.